Have you ever found yourself staring at the ceiling at 2 or 3 in the morning, your mind weary but your body refusing to stay asleep? You're not thirsty, your bladder doesn't even feel particularly full, yet a persistent, nagging urge has pulled you from the depths of a much-needed rest. This isn't just an inconvenience, it's a silent epidemic of stolen sleep, and you are not alone. Across the country, countless respected elders are caught in this nightly struggle, believing it's an unavoidable part of growing older. They lie down after a long day, bodies heavy with fatigue, only to be summoned from their beds again and again. Morning arrives not with a feeling of renewal, but with a lingering exhaustion that even the most fragrant cup of chai cannot seem to wash away. This pervasive tiredness seeps into the day, dulling the joy of morning walks, making conversations feel strenuous, and stealing the energy needed to play with grandchildren or pursue beloved hobbies. It is a quiet suffering, a nightly battle fought in the solitude of one's own bedroom, often dismissed with a sigh as simply old age. Many have tried various remedies, herbal concoctions, sleeping pills that leave a groggy hangover, or even drastically cutting down on all liquids, which only leads to dehydration and its own set of problems. They have resigned themselves to a life of fragmented rest, a reality where the promise of a full night's sleep feels like a distant memory from a more youthful time. But what if this widely accepted narrative is fundamentally flawed? What if the key to reclaiming your peaceful nights, to sleeping soundly until dawn, isn't found in a pill or a drastic lifestyle change, but in correcting one quiet, simple mistake you might be making every single day? The solution is closer than you think, and understanding it could be the most important thing you do for your health and happiness this year. It is a path back to vitality, a way to honor your body's wisdom, and it begins with understanding the true and surprisingly simple reason your nights have become so disrupted. The silent thief of sleep. For many people, especially after the age of 55, a strange and unwelcome pattern begins to emerge in the quiet hours of the night. You settle into bed after dinner, anticipating the gentle embrace of sleep, but instead, you are interrupted. A familiar urge pulls at your consciousness, demanding you get up and visit the bathroom. At first, it might be just once a night, but soon it becomes twice or even 3 times, shattering your rest into unsatisfying fragments. It's easy to dismiss this as a normal sign of aging, a simple tax that time levies on the body. However, the truth is far more specific and, once understood, offers a clear path to relief. As we gracefully age, our bodies naturally produce less of a crucial hormone called vasopressin during the nighttime. This hormone is like a gentle gatekeeper for the kidneys, signaling them to slow down their work while we sleep, allowing us to rest for long, uninterrupted stretches. In our younger years, this hormone is released in abundance after sunset, effectively telling the body's internal water processing factory to go on a skeleton crew, conserving water and minimizing urine production. This elegant biological process is designed to give our brains and bodies a solid 8-hour block of time for repair, memory consolidation, and deep rejuvenation. When vasopressin levels decline with age, this powerful signal weakens significantly. The gatekeeper is no longer as vigilant, and the kidney factory continues to operate at nearly its full daytime capacity throughout the night. It diligently filters fluids from your bloodstream, creating more urine and filling the bladder much faster than your body is prepared for, disrupting your sleep long before you are truly rested. This is not a sign of failure. It is a natural, predictable physiological shift that simply requires a new strategy to manage. Alongside this hormonal shift, the kidneys themselves undergo a natural change, becoming a little less efficient in their filtering process. This is not a sign of disease, but a gentle adaptation to the passing years. The intricate process of balancing fluids in your body simply takes a little longer. Think of your youthful kidneys as a high-speed, modern filtration plant, rapidly processing every liter of fluid. With age, they become more like a wise, seasoned artisan, working more deliberately and methodically. This means that even if you drink the exact same amount of water as you did in your younger years, your body may not process it with the same smooth, predictable rhythm. The fluid you drink in the evening might linger in your system for longer before it finally makes its way to the bladder, often reaching its destination in the middle of the night. Now, add one more critical factor to this equation. The bladder itself grows more sensitive. In your youth, your bladder could comfortably hold 400 to 500 milliliters of urine before sending a signal to your brain. It was a resilient reservoir, patient and accommodating. But after 60, the nerves in the bladder wall can become more excitable, and it might start sounding the alarm when it has collected as little as 150 milliliters, which is barely half a small glass. Once that urgent signal reaches your brain, no matter how tired you are, the mind can no longer find peace. A gentleman named Mohanji from Hyderabad shared that for years, he believed waking up twice a night was simply his age catching up with him. He felt powerless, attributing his exhaustion to an unstoppable decline. He tried drinking less water overall, which left him with headaches and fatigue, and even resorted to sleeping pills, which made him feel groggy and disconnected the next day. The moment he learned that his bladder nerves were merely more sensitive, not broken, a profound sense of relief washed over him. The problem was not an irreversible condition, but a combination of predictable changes that he could work with. With just a few simple adjustments to his daily habits, he began to sleep through the night again, proving that it is not just about age. It is about learning to listen to the new ways our body speaks to us and responding with wisdom and care. The hidden mistakes we make before bedtime. In homes all across India, the belief that drinking plenty of water is always a healthy choice is deeply ingrained. And while it is true that water is the essence of life, the timing of when we drink it, particularly after the age of 60, can quietly determine whether our nights are restful or restless. You might be consuming the perfect amount of water for your body, but if you are drinking it at the wrong hours, you are inadvertently setting your bladder on a course to sabotage your sleep. One of the most common yet overlooked mistakes is drinking large quantities of water after 6 or 7 p.m. During these evening hours, your body's systems, including your kidneys, are naturally beginning to slow down and prepare for a period of rest. This is part of our ancient, built-in circadian rhythm, a daily clock that governs our energy and recovery cycles. When you suddenly flood your system with a large glass or two of water with dinner or while watching television in the evening, you are working directly against this natural rhythm. You force your kidneys, which are trying to wind down, into overtime. They work diligently through the night, filtering and pushing urine into your already more sensitive bladder while the rest of your body is desperately trying to sleep. This is precisely why so many elders who have a glass or two of water with or after their dinner find themselves wide awake at 1 or 3 a.m., wrestling with an urge that feels impossible to ignore. The timing of this awakening is no coincidence. It often corresponds to the 3 to 4 hour window it takes for that evening fluid to be processed and fill the bladder to its new lower threshold. This issue extends far beyond plain water. Think about the comforting evening rituals many of us enjoy. A warm cup of masala chai to settle the stomach, a soothing bowl of light rasam to accompany a meal, a generous serving of thin dal, or a glass of haldi milk before bed. These are moments of comfort, tradition, and connection, but we often forget that they are all fundamentally fluids. Whether it's ginger tea to soothe the throat or a watery sabzi to round out a meal, every sip and every spoonful contributes to your total fluid intake for the evening. When consumed after sunset, these liquids quietly accumulate in the bladder, leading to the same frustrating outcome: disturbed sleep, groggy mornings, and sometimes even the brain fog and leg pain that come from a night of poor rest. Another seemingly logical but counterproductive habit is going to the toilet just in case, right before you get into bed. It feels like a responsible, preemptive thing to do. But when you consistently force your bladder to empty when it isn't truly full, you are teaching its delicate nerves the wrong lesson. Over time, your bladder becomes overtrained and develops what is known as urinary frequency. It starts to send full signals even when it is only a third full because it has been conditioned to empty itself at that level. This creates false urges that can wake you from a deep sleep, even when there is very little urine to pass. Sushilaji, a 72-year-old from Pune, suffered from this broken sleep pattern for nearly 2 years. She would wake at 2:30 a.m. like clockwork, feeling frustrated and helpless. She later realized her nightly 9 p.m. cup of strong ginger tea, a habit she cherished, was the primary culprit. By simply moving her tea ritual to 6 p.m. and having only a few sips of warm water before bed if she was truly thirsty, she began sleeping for 5 to 6 hours at a stretch within a single week. The sparkle returned to her eyes as she marveled, "I never knew water could behave like this. It was not my body failing me. It was my habits failing my body." Doctor? The golden hours, when to drink for a peaceful night. Imagine your body as a bustling city. During the day, from sunrise to late afternoon, the streets are alive with activity. Energy is high, and all the city's systems, its power plants, factories, and delivery networks, are running at peak performance. This is when your body is most equipped to handle its tasks, including the complex and vital job of processing fluids. As we grow older, the contrast between our body's daytime efficiency and its nighttime need for rest becomes much more pronounced. This is why urologists and health experts worldwide emphasize that when you drink water may be just as vital as how much you drink. For seniors, the golden hours for hydration are between sunrise and late afternoon, roughly from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. During this vibrant window, your metabolism is faster, your heart is pumping with more vigor, your muscles are active, and your kidneys are in their prime state to filter and balance fluids effectively. By consuming the majority of your daily water, perhaps aiming for 75% of your total intake, during these active hours, you give your body ample time to process the liquid, use what it needs for cellular function, and excrete the rest. This ensures your bladder can be comfortably empty by the time the sun sets and your body's city begins to quiet down, preparing for its nightly repair and restoration. This proactive hydration strategy means you are working in beautiful synchrony with your body's innate biological clock. The ideal approach is to sip water slowly and steadily throughout the morning and early afternoon, rather than gulping down large amounts at once, which can overwhelm the kidneys. You might have a glass upon waking to rehydrate after the night, another mid-morning, and slightly larger amounts around your meals to aid digestion. But once the clock ticks past 5 p.m., it's time to begin consciously tapering your intake. This doesn't mean you should completely avoid water in the evening, as that could lead to dehydration, which can cause its own set of problems, including confusion and muscle cramps. Instead, think of it as gracefully dimming the lights in your body's city before bedtime. From 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., transition to taking only small sips when you genuinely feel thirsty. Pay close attention to your body's signals rather than drinking out of habit. After 7:30 p.m., unless specifically advised otherwise by your doctor, it is best to avoid drinking more than 150 milliliters of any fluid, which is about the size of one small steel glass. A common and valid question is, what if I need to take medicine at night? For the many elders who are prescribed tablets for blood pressure, diabetes, or other conditions, water is necessary. The best practice here is to use just enough water to swallow the pills comfortably, a few sips rather than a full glass. If the medication makes your mouth feel dry and you become thirsty, try taking a single spoonful of room temperature water every few minutes to quench the dryness, rather than drinking an entire glass at once. This mindful approach honors your body's need for both medicine and rest. By aligning your hydration with your body's natural daily rhythm, you are not drinking less, you are drinking smarter. You are giving your organs the gift of working in harmony, which in turn gives your mind the precious and increasingly rare gift of uninterrupted, healing sleep. Your dinner plate's secret role in your sleep. In many Indian households, dinner is a cherished time for connection, comfort, and the enjoyment of flavorful food. However, as we age, the foods we choose for this final meal of the day can have a secret and powerful influence on the quality of our sleep. It's not just about what you drink from a glass. What you eat from your plate in the evening can also fill your bladder and send you on unwelcome trips to the bathroom in the middle of the night. It is a subtle factor that is very often overlooked. Consider the seemingly harmless, watery foods that are staples in many homes, like a light and tangy rasam, a clear vegetable soup, or even a bowl of thin, soupy dal. While these are wonderfully light on the stomach and easy to digest, they are also hidden sources of significant fluid. A medium-sized bowl of rasam or dal can easily contain 200 to 250 milliliters of liquid, which is equivalent to drinking a full glass of water. When you consume them close to bedtime, they contribute bit by bit to the total volume in your bladder. You might not feel the effect immediately after your meal, but a few hours after you've lain down to rest and your body has finished digesting, that fluid is processed by the kidneys and sent to the bladder. It will then begin to whisper and then insist until it has woken you up completely, shattering your deep sleep cycle. Certain fruits and vegetables also require careful timing, not just because of their water content, but also due to their natural properties. A refreshing raw salad with crunchy cucumber, juicy tomatoes, and a squeeze of sharp lemon juice may seem like the pinnacle of a healthy choice for dinner, and it is, but it is preferably a choice for lunch. These foods are rich in both water and natural acids. Foods like tomatoes, citrus fruits, and even onions can act as bladder irritants, especially in older adults whose bladder lining may be more sensitive. This irritation can make the bladder feel full and trigger the urge to urinate even when it contains very little fluid. Similarly, fruits like watermelon, muskmelon, and oranges are best enjoyed before sunset due to their extremely high water content. Rajesh G. from Ahmedabad, a 68-year-old man, used to eat a large raw salad every single night, believing he was making a wonderfully healthy choice for his heart and digestion. Yet, he was plagued by 2 or 3 nightly bathroom trips that left him perpetually tired. The revelation came when a naturopath suggested he shift his salad to his midday meal and opt for lightly steamed or cooked vegetables at dinner instead. Within a single week, without changing his water intake or taking any medication, he began sleeping for 6 straight hours. It was a life-changing discovery born from one simple dietary shift. Another hidden culprit is salty food. Indulging in fried popads, tangy pickles, or heavily seasoned curries and snacks in the evening can significantly increase your thirst. Salt naturally draws water out of your cells and makes your body signal for more fluids to restore balance. This naturally leads you to drink more water after dinner, and again just before bed, creating a vicious cycle of hydration and urination at precisely the wrong time. This extra fluid, combined with aging kidneys and a more sensitive bladder, makes nighttime waking almost inevitable. This is not about depriving yourself of the foods you love. It is about honoring your body's evolving rhythm by enjoying these watery, acidic, or salty foods earlier in the day and choosing lighter, drier, and gentler meals for your dinner. This simple act of dietary mindfulness allows your entire system the peace it needs to rest deeply through the night. Sautre, gentle habits for a deeper rest. Sometimes, the most profound healing comes not from a medicine bottle or a complicated medical procedure, but from a series of small, gentle shifts in our daily habits. When it comes to conquering the nightly challenge of frequent urination, many elders feel a sense of helplessness, resigning themselves to what they believe is an inescapable and frustrating part of aging. The truth, however, is that a few thoughtful lifestyle changes can bring quiet, lasting relief by respecting the body's natural rhythms and addressing the Underlying physical changes with simple, practical actions. Let's begin with a powerful yet incredibly simple habit: morning movement. As we age, and particularly if we lead a more sedentary lifestyle, our circulation can become a bit more sluggish. This causes fluid to slowly pool in the lower legs and ankles during the day due to gravity, a condition known as mild peripheral edema. This is a form of hidden swelling that is often not even visible to the naked eye. When you lie down flat at night, gravity's pull changes. This trapped fluid is no longer held in your legs. It is free to move back into your bloodstream. From there, it is sent to the kidneys to be filtered and processed into urine. This effectively creates a delayed fluid load that increases urine production at the exact moment your body craves rest. A short, gentle walk in the morning sun, performing some simple arm stretches, or even just rotating your ankles and flexing your feet while seated in a chair can work wonders. This early movement activates your muscles, which act as a pump for your lymphatic system, helping your body process and release that excess fluid during the active hours of the day, so your kidneys are not overburdened after sunset. Next, consider the very position in which you sleep. While many of us are accustomed to sleeping on our backs or whichever way feels comfortable, medical experts and sleep scientists now suggest that sleeping on your left side can be particularly beneficial for a number of reasons. This position takes advantage of gravity to improve digestion and, crucially, reduces pressure on the bladder and the vena cava, the large vein that carries blood back to the heart from the lower body. By relieving this pressure, circulation can improve, and the kidneys can function more efficiently without being under duress. Placing a soft pillow between your knees can further enhance this position by aligning your hips and spine, which prevents lower back strain and promotes deeper physical relaxation throughout your body. It's a small mechanical adjustment, but for many, it has made a remarkable difference in reducing nighttime urges. The environment you sleep in also matters profoundly. In our desire for comfort and coziness, we sometimes overdo it with heavy blankets, thick quilts, or warm, synthetic nightclothes. This can cause you to overheat slightly during the night. When your body gets too warm, it triggers sweat to cool down, which in turn triggers thirst and prompts the kidneys to become more active to regulate body temperature and fluid balance. Instead, opt for light, breathable cotton sleepwear and keep the room comfortably cool and airy. A thin bedsheet and a gently rotating fan may be all you need for your body to remain calm and your bladder to stay quiet. Finally, if you do find yourself waking in the night, pause for a moment before rushing to the bathroom. Ask yourself gently, do I truly feel a strong, undeniable urge, or is this just a habit? If the sensation is mild, try staying still in your comfortable position, taking 5 slow, deep breaths and consciously relaxing the muscles in your belly and pelvic floor. This simple practice helps retrain your brain-bladder connection, teaching it to distinguish between a true signal of fullness and a false, habitual alarm. Over time, your body will relearn that not every little stir requires an urgent response, allowing you to drift back to sleep more easily and reclaim your rest. A promise of hope and restful nights. It is often the small, quiet changes made with consistency and intention that bring about the most significant and lasting healing. When it comes to achieving the profound gift of restful, uninterrupted sleep, one of the most powerful yet elegantly simple shifts you can make is in the timing of your water intake. It is not always about what you drink, or even how much you drink over the course of a day, but fundamentally about when you drink it. This may sound too small, too mundane to make a real difference in the face of a problem that feels so persistent and medical. Yet, for countless elders who have felt the deep fatigue of fragmented nights, embracing this single habit has transformed their sleep and revitalized their days in ways they thought were no longer possible. Consider the story of Lakshmi Ji, a graceful 70-year-old woman from Coimbatore who cherished her independence and her active social life. For years, she would wake up 3 times every night, almost at the same hours, leaving her feeling tired, irritable, and deeply frustrated. She had accepted it as her new normal, a non-negotiable consequence of her age that she simply had to endure. Her daughter finally shared with her this simple wisdom about fluid timing. With some skepticism, Lakshmi Ji made one simple change. She began drinking the majority of her water in the morning and early afternoon, and made it a firm but gentle rule for herself to stop sipping any fluids after 6:30 p.m., only taking a tiny bit of water with her nightly medicine. The first night, she woke up only once. By the third night, she slept through until sunrise for the first time in nearly a decade. Within 1 week, she was consistently sleeping for 7 full, uninterrupted hours. With a bright, rejuvenated smile, she shared, "I feel like I have been given a piece of my youth back. I didn't know my body could still feel this refreshed and strong." This is the beautiful and hopeful message to carry with you on your own journey. Your body has not given up on you. It is not failing or broken. It possesses an incredible innate wisdom and a deep, cellular memory of how to rest, how to heal, and how to return to a state of natural, harmonious balance. Sometimes, in the face of the inevitable changes that come with a long and full life, all it asks for is your gentle and patient support. It needs you to listen to its new, more subtle signals, the need for earlier hydration, the sensitivity to certain foods, the desire for gentle movement, and to partner with it in a loving, cooperative way. The journey to better sleep is not a fight against your age, a battle to be won with force or frustration. Instead, it is a graceful dance of gentle adjustments, mindful awareness, and profound respect for the body that has carried you through a lifetime. When you offer your body this grace, when you choose to work with its natural rhythms rather than against them, it will often respond with a generosity that is deeply moving, giving you the profound gift of quiet, healing, and uninterrupted rest. Your peaceful nights are not a distant memory from a chapter of life that has closed. They are waiting for you, right here and now, ready to be reclaimed, one mindful sip of water at a time. Namaste.